Hi everybody and welcome back to my kitchen. My name is Greta and I'm the dietitian at John Stoddard Cancer Center. So I'm really excited to be back with you again. I've got lots of great recipes to share with you over the next year. We're going to start out with a great recipe that has a bit of pantry and a bit of fresh, and it is super simple, super fast, and really cost effective. I know groceries right now are really expensive, so this is a really cost effective way to make a great dinner. Tons of flavor. So, not a lot to chop, super simple. We're going to put this together in about 30 minutes, which is great. And I'm going to start with some zucchini. So, if you had zucchini from the summertime that you had chopped and frozen, you could pull that out. You know, zucchini, it's something you find more in the summer, but they're pretty readily available all the time, which is the nice thing about them. If you can't find zucchini, you certainly could substitute a different vegetable, but like I said, zucchini are pretty easy to find and they are pretty inexpensive most of the time. You could use some other kinds of squashes if you had those. You might just have to adjust your cooking time a little bit. So I'm going to chop these into about 1-inch size pieces. I like to go down the long way first and then come back through the long way again. Just like that, and then cube them up into like 1-inch size pieces. Set those aside. The other nice thing I like, you know, it's wintertime and fresh stuff's kind of hard to find. So I do like making, you know, recipes that have some pantry ingredients, but I like to throw in a few fresh things because, you know, it's nice to have something fresh in there, and the best way to introduce some good fresh flavors to a recipe in the wintertime is with fresh herbs. I am fortunate enough, I have a greenhouse and I still have herbs growing like crazy. Herbs can be kept inside, even in just pots in your windowsill in your kitchen. If you'd like to keep them all year round, they grow really easily. I'm surprised mine are just doing so well this year. So we've got fresh herbs all the time. And it just injects so much good flavor and so much good freshness. My daughter's coming in the back door, so the dogs are gonna bark. Yes, I have dogs. Yes, this is my home. This is not a studio. So excuse the barking. It's also right before the holidays, so there's lots of deliveries coming. So you may get some barking at the UPS or FedEx man too. So I keep trying to explain to them that the FedEx man is who brings them their Chewy order, which is all of their food and their treats, but we haven't rationalized that one yet. All right. And just about done. All right, one more easy, fresh thing to chop. My favorite, right? Garlic. We're gonna do a couple cloves of garlic. You could add some shallot or onion to this too if you wanted to add that flavor, but it doesn't call for it. Kind of up to you. There's so many other things I'm gonna show you that are gonna add lots of flavor to this. One is I have sitting here, we're going to add capers. They're pickled, so they add this big pop of salty flavor. We're also going to add some red wine vinegar, which adds a bit of zing to this. Alright, one more. Clean up my cutting board here. And the fresh herbs that we're going to use in the end are going to be basil and mint. Certainly if you can't find either of those, you could substitute in some flat leaf parsley. You could also do some fresh oregano. The mint is amazing. Like, you're eating this and you feel like, oh, is it summer again? No, it's not. All right. I'm going to finish chopping up this garlic, and then I'm going to meet you back over at the stove, and we'll get this started. See you soon. Okay, over here at my stove, I've got a 1/4 cup of olive oil heating in a nice deep pan, and it's it's hot. It's, you know, I've cut this on like a medium-high heat. So we're gonna go ahead and add our zucchini. And we're just gonna let the zucchini get a little bit browned. It's only gonna take about 6 minutes. Just the nice thing about zucchini, it does not take very long to cook. If you're using some other kind of heartier squash, you may just have to adjust your cooking time a little and heat it a little bit longer. I'm going to teach you a little trick too. We are going to use 3 cups of stock. So I have chicken stock that I just pulled out of my freezer because I've got it stored in there all the time. You could use veggie stock too. I've got it heating so that when we add it in, it's going to come to a simmer so quick. It's going to reduce the overall cooking time of this. So that's just a little trick that I do. So we'll be back in just about 6 minutes and check out our zucchini. Okay, so I'm back because my zucchini is starting to get nice and browned around the edges. So I'm going to go ahead and add my garlic. I'm going to turn my heat down to about medium. Give my garlic a stir through there. We don't want to burn the garlic. That's why I turn my heat down just a bit. Burnt garlic does not taste good. And now at this point, I'm going to go ahead and season it. I'm going to add some pepper. Now remember, we're going to add capers later. My stock is very low sodium because I make it myself. But capers are going to lend some salt to this. So I am not going to put much salt in. I'm probably just going to add about a half a teaspoon of salt. So we don't over salt it. We can always adjust it later. If you're not salting, you can skip that. Alright, so now at this point, I'm going to add my orzo. So orzo is pasta. It is not a grain. It is pasta. But why I like it is it's such tiny pasta that it cooks really fast. So that's 12 ounces of orzo. And we're going to let that sort of get coated in the oil and the garlic. It's going to help it too that when it cooks it won't stick together. It also will pick up now all that flavor. And it only takes about a minute. That's where you can get the yummy bits scraped up off the bottom. I have had people ask me what kind of pan I use. This is a coated cast iron. I love this pan. I use it all the time. It's really easy to maintain and clean. It makes that nice browning on the bottom, which is great. It holds a lot, which is great for this too. It's got a good lid. I honestly got mine from Pampered Chef. But Le Creuset would be a comparable company that makes coated cast iron. Alright. I am going to add my 3 cups of chicken stock now. My stock, you can hear that, is hot because I put it in my saucepan and warmed it up already, which is my sneaky trick to get dinner on the table faster. I am coming through right now and I am just picking up all the yummy bits off the bottom to get that incorporated in. So we're just going to let this come up to a simmer. We're going to put a nice tight lid on it. We're going to let this simmer for about 6 minutes until that orzo cooks. And we're going to come back and add the rest of the ingredients. We'll see you soon. So my orzo is over there simmering away, so I'm going to work on my herbs that we're going to finish this with. And like I said, I'm using fresh basil and fresh mint. This just came out of my greenhouse. It's going to be a half a cup of each. Like I said, if you can't get one of these, you certainly could do some flat leaf parsley instead. You could do some fresh oregano instead. A half a cup of each seems like a lot, but this offers a ton of great freshness to this, especially this time of year when we need that freshness. Remember, your fresh herbs have those cancer-fighting phytochemicals in them, so we want to incorporate those into our cooking. They add flavor without salt, and I mean, let's face it, they're delicious. This mint smells so good. My mint at the end of the summer, you know, it was kind of dying away because of the heat, and put it in the greenhouse and it completely regenerated. I have so much mint, I don't even know what to do with it. I can't believe the basil is still surviving either, but here it is. So I'm making just a nice big old pile. And you don't have to be too picky about how you chop it, just kind of coarsely chop through it. Because it's nice in this recipe to get some nice bites of all these different herbs in there. You don't have to measure it, just, I don't know, as much as you like. That's looking pretty good. Snickers is helping, as usual. Right, Snickers? Honestly, he's smelling the tuna, because I already opened the tuna that we're going to add at the end. That was probably a mistake, but alright, that looks about good. So I just kind of roll this all up into a big old pile. My basil's too small to ship an odd, so we're just making a big old pile. And then I'm just going to run my knife through it. And that combination of that mint and that basil smells so good. I even had, somehow I had volunteer basil. There was basil popping up in one of my other herb plants. One of the seeds must have made its way over to the other pot, and we have a volunteer. Alright, that's looking pretty good. So my timer has just a couple minutes left on it. So when we come back, we're going to go ahead and get this finished up. So I'll see you soon. Okay, I'm back. I just took my lid off. Most of the liquid has been absorbed, which is perfect. My orzo is cooked. Now some of it sort of sticks down on the bottom. Just take your spoon and sort of lift it off the bottom. It's going to make this then so thick and creamy, adding all those kind of stuck on bits that get kind of browned at the bottom. It's perfect. Alright. To this, once I got all that up, oh yeah, that's perfect. To this, we're going to go ahead and add a tablespoon of red wine vinegar. Just going to add a little extra zing. We're also going to add 3 tablespoons of capers, which I have drained. We don't want all that briny liquid in here. We just want the capers. Perfect. So it's stuck in my lid. Alright, and then we are going to add 1 can of tuna. You can go ahead and splurge and get the good stuff, because this is really a major component of this dish. I'm turning this down a little bit. I do get the tuna packed in oil for this purpose. It has a lot more flavor in it, but I did drain the oil off of it. Gotta get it started. There we go. We're just gonna get this all kind of stirred through and heated with our orzo and our zucchini. All right. Perfect. So once that's all kind of stirred in, heated through, you can go ahead and turn your heat off. I'm gonna come back over here to my cutting board. Got all my fresh herbs on here. Now the original recipe, I will admit, I didn't follow it. It did call for adding golden raisins. I don't like the texture of cooked raisins. It's not my thing. It does add a nice sweet pop in here, which if you enjoy that, absolutely go ahead and do it. But it's just not my preference, so I do not add them. And I just stir in my fresh herbs. I know it looks like a lot, but I promise you will not be sorry. And that's it. Dinner is ready. So thank you for watching and enjoy.